Here, just a silver dish.
All right.
And I get the cut one.
Because I'll ask you, what have you been doing today? You can talk about this a little bit.
Yeah.
Then I'll say, what are you going to do this evening? Right?
Yeah.
Hello, and welcome to our second installment of the Tonomi Kitchen. For all of our Tonomi friends that were here last week, we actually had a beautiful split between Ohio and Togo, Africa. Our friends in Togo did some beautiful breaded shrimp, where Mama Carmela actually made some wonderful breaded eggplant, which is one of my favorite foods. So we have a nice show for you today. I would like to take 1 second and tell you about the product, which is the foundation of everything we do. We have beautiful Tonomi flours, organic, gluten-free, non-GMO, halal, kosher. Our cassava and tapioca is absolutely fantastic. We have plantain flour. And in fact, we get a lot of questions about banana flour. What do you do with banana flour? So today, Mama Carmela is going to tell us a little bit more about what to do with banana flour. We also have from Togo, Africa, beautiful Robusta coffee. And our Robusta coffee is a blend of 2 Robustas ground in a beautiful way. We have light, medium, and dark roast, wake up, get up, and stay up. And if you like the branding on it, that was done by my friend, Mike. Hey, Mike, would you want to tell everyone some of the social things we're trying to do to give back to our communities?
Yeah, no, thanks very much, Scott. And hello, everybody. Apologize if I look a bit red. I was actually running to get here, in fact, just to see this banana bread recipe. So I'm really happy to be here. As Scott mentioned, we have a really good, strong quality products, but it's not just about providing good products, it's about providing good things. And when we founded Tonomi and decided to enter into this venture and looked into the individuals in Togo that we're working with and the people that we're working with, we had an idea that, it's not enough just to provide distribution, to provide new markets for them in the United States. We really wanted to do something to pay back. And instead of just throwing into charity, our big thing is empowerment. So we decided, what empowered Scott, me, Dr. Kojo in Togo. It's all about education and giving back to the communities in that respect. And so we've done and created a lot of social programs that equal empowerment, whether that's for the communities in which our farmers live, where our people are in the factories producing these quality products. We wanted to give back to them to help build better schools, to better programs, because for us, education is empowerment and empowerment is love. And that's really what we're all about. There's so much potential in West Africa and Africa generally, particularly in their agriculture. Some of the best soils in the world are there. So, we can help them on all of the sort of new markets and things like that, but we need to help them help themselves and empower them to do things in their own communities and be able to grow and prosper and develop. And that's really what we're about. A portion of our profits go back into the communities to build schools, to do other programs that provide that empowerment. This is not a pure sort of distribution. This is about being family with our friends in Togo and seeing them thrive, just as we can see everyone thrive who uses Tonomi's products, whether it's the cassava and the tapioca, the plantain, the banana, whether it's the excellent coffee. So that's why we're here. Empowerment is what we're about. And for us, empowerment is love. So thank you very much, Scott.
Thank you, Mike. So today, as I mentioned, next week we'll go back to Togo and speak with Chef Lavanza. That we'll get the program out, what he's going to make. But as mentioned, we have Mama Carmela and Isabel Carmela in our kitchen today. So Mama Carmela, tell us about what you've done today.
Today, I made a cinnamon banana nut bread. And I wanted to see how they come out because it's different flavors. This afternoon, it's just going to be a plain banana bread. There are no nuts because I have grandchildren allergic to nuts. And I want to thank you all for being here and getting to know me. So go ahead. The first thing I'm going to do, we're going to put the banana flour. I already pre-measured. And I need to tell you, when I opened this bag, I felt like I was back in the tropics. It smelled so good, banana. I felt like I was in South America picking the bananas.
Mama, no, it's in Togo.
In Togo, I'm sorry.
Thank you. So Mama Carmela, how much flour did you use?
I used 1.5 cups of the banana flour. And then I used 3/4 cup of sugar, which Isabel is dumping, not yet. And we're gonna mix this up. And she also put in 3/4 teaspoon of baking powder, 3/4 teaspoon of baking soda. And I only used 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I do cut back on the salt. Now, we already pre-mashed the bananas. Here, Isabel, you sift this a little bit. I already peeled and mashed the bananas, in which Isabel's going to dump in the bowl because I'm going to beat these 2 eggs. Now, when you beat the eggs, it just helps to give it a little bit of body because remember, you're working with gluten-free flour. And this is going to help solve a lot of problems in the future if you whip very, very well. The 2 eggs, and I'm going to mix them with the bananas. Now put the vanilla in here. Yep, dump it. I'm putting all of the liquid together. I'm going to mix it, and then I have here 1/4 of a cup. Oh, I'm sorry. It's a 1/2 cup of melted flour or butter. And it's 1/3 of a cup. I'm so sorry. And then I'm going to mix this very good until I can incorporate all of the butter into the bananas, because it's just going to help the mixture. Now, Isabel, I want you to slowly dump this while I mix, because this is going to be a little bit hard to do, but no, this way. All right, let's take this out. All right, now dump that right in here. Oh, fast. Okay, very good. Now we got to get it all in here. We need all of these bananas. Oh my God, wait till you smell this. I wish you had TV where you can put that in the sink. Okay, now we're going to mix this very well. I am not putting nuts into this one. I love nuts and everything, but I have grandchildren who are allergic, and the first thing they do when they walk in is see what's around to eat. So I don't not want to make them sick or kill them. I just want to give them this banana bread. Now, the banana bread, the flour itself is ground very fine, and it tends to change just the nature a little bit, the color a little bit. So, okay, Izzy, get those 2 baking pans back there in the stove. Now,
Want me to help it stir it?
yeah. Scott's going to stir this just a little bit. I want to make some room here. Okay. Now, I'm using it's only my husband and I live here, so I tend to make things smaller. It's just the 2 of us. So this is enough batter for 1 big loaf, but I'm using 2 small loaves. And I think it's just going to change the nature.
The texture of this is very nice.
Very nice. I think, let me get this. Okay, I think that's good, Scott. The one thing about gluten-free flour, you do not want to overmix it, because then it tends to get rubbery. But this is beautiful, just the way it is. The pans are pre-greased. They're going to go into the oven at 350. I'm going to put half in this one and the other half in the other. I'm eyeballing it for the sake of time. Here, let me do it this way.
You got it?
Yeah. All right. And all right, Isabel, here, I want you to go like that just a few times. Okay, that's good. Oh, this came out. This is beautiful texture.
I know it tastes good.
Like
the nuts give it a punch.
The nuts.
I'm not a good
She's not
I'm not a
person. So that's why she's waiting for this to come out of the oven.
And it's just pretty.
Okay, now you're gonna have to use me, because the best utensil you have in the kitchen are your hands. And this is, no, I got it. And I just hope that you will try this recipe, because just the fragrance gets your attention. It's just a beautiful fragrance, beautiful batter to work with. All right, here, straighten this one out. Pound it a little bit so it's all straight to go in the oven. This one.
Oh.
Yeah, do them both. Okay, that's good. Here, let's put them in the oven. Carry one over. And now be careful, because this is hot. Just slide it on the top shelf. Very good. Now it's going to take about between 30 and 40 minutes to let it rise. Stick it with a toothpick to make sure it's done when you think it's ready to come out of the oven. And this was this morning's product. This was the one with the nuts and with cinnamon. So,
Which I love.
Actually, in fairness,
that
that
looks
was
great.
really, really nice.
That looks great.
And she's been eating this one, so it might be gone here soon. And that's our banana nut cake. I wish that we had enough time to watch it bake and let it come out of the oven. But again, I want to thank you all for getting to know me and getting to know our granddaughter. So thank you.
That
Thanks
part
so
about
much.
getting to know me, Mama Carmela made up.
That's a good line. I like it, Scott.
But
good.
listen, again, we thank everyone for coming to our Tonomi kitchen. Like I say, you see 3 out of 4 generations here, my mother, my granddaughter. So again, we're very much a Tonomi family. We very much, if you have any ideas about what you would like to see from our Tonomi kitchen, please send us a note on the website and we'll figure out how to get it done and get it videoed. As mentioned, next week we'll go back to Togo with Chef Lavanza and Dr. Kojo. So again, we're trying to get a nice flavor and a nice back and forth. And then maybe the week after that, we'll do the split program again, where Dr. Kojo and Chef Lavanza do a nice dish and Mama Carmela does a nice dish. Once again, go ahead.
Tell them I can't wait to show you some Christmas cookies with the cassava flour.
Yay!
So again, thank you for being a part of our Tonomi kitchen. We hope to see you next week. Kix, anything to wrap up, or I just say goodbye?
Just one question. So what is the difference between a plantain and banana flour?
You know, the plantains, I have not really worked with the plantain flour because I don't understand the plantain very well. But a plantain is a little bit tougher than a banana. So I'm sure that there's, I'm not so sure that I think I want to bake with the plantain flour, maybe an easy cake. But I'll tell you what I would do with the plantain flour. I would use it to thicken stew, to use as breading. There's a lot of ways you could use it. But I personally have not used the plantain flour yet.
Hey, Mike, have you used the plantain?
Yeah, so you know, plantains are kind of part of the banana family. And the thing about plantains versus banana is a lot of people find that plantain has a little bit more of a bitter flavor to it. Now, that usually means that what you do with the plantain is, instead of doing 1-to-1 on recipes where you would use, say, a cup of banana flour, a lot of bakers will use maybe 3/4 of a cup of plantain flour. And the ultimate reason people use it, you know, it has sort of similar nutrition, lots of potassium in both, and it just has a little bit different flavor profile. So because it's got a little bit more bitterness, it tends to be not as sweet. So for those that don't want something as sweet, but still want to have a nice sort of texture that comes from using banana flour, it can be done that way as well. So, you know, what I always say to people is kind of experiment with them. You know, bananas, plantains from the same sort of family, but different taste profiles and different sort of ways in which you can use them.
Nice. Kix, anything else?
That's all I've got so far.
That's great. Kix,
Go ahead.
I was going to say there's some great recipes for plantain waffles using plantain flour. So we'll get those out and circulate to the group and some stuff like that. Because the nice thing about using plantain is it does a really good job of, say, holding the waffle together. And then if you add a little bit of syrup, for those that really want a bit more of a sugary taste, you can get that. So we'll throw some recipes on what you can do with plantain versus banana. And the nice thing is the plantain doesn't necessarily taste as banana-y, if you know what I mean, as the banana flour. So.
Very nice, Mike. We appreciate that. I have to tell all of our Tonomi family, for me, this is very hard work to do this kind of a live show. So I think it's time to see if a nice glass of red goes with Mama Carmela's banana cinnamon nut bread.
It does.
Thanks to everybody. I hope to see you next week.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks,
Mama Carmela.
I love you guys.
right. Cheers.
Now you can have it.
Now you can have a piece.